Welcome everybody to this vlog. Now the reason why I want to make this video is because I uploaded a vlog yesterday and I wanted to make another one to update everybody on the progress. I don't think many people are going to be interested in this, but I think I've realized something which is very simple, which is that I tend to... Oh, I'm going to get demonetized because of that, but never mind. I think the problem is that there's a lot of overthinking that I do, basically. And it seems reasonable, like, whenever, like, I make projects, because, you know, with what I make, I don't want it to be, not well thought out and, you know, just overall bad because, we didn't think of things in hindsight, you know? But, you know, I don't know why, but it's just tricky for me to balance thinking and not having it like be overthought pretty much. And like it seems rational every time like I do it, like, oh yes, it's important to do this, but then usually we don't ever really ship things. So I think honestly the cure for my ailment and whatnot, because you know, the anxiety and like all the depression and all that, it all really stems from me not being able to be productive. I think the best course of action is just to make things, even if it's inefficient, because making things in an inefficient manner is better than basically producing nothing for the most part. And there's so much anxiety over like doing it right, because if you don't do it right, then like it may not work out. But even so, if you have like a product that's out, it's better than having something that's not out at all, pretty much. And that's the conclusion that I've come to, which is that I need more like cocaine sort of like energy, not like actually taking cocaine, but I mean like just that sort of energy where you just kind of do things and you don't really think about like, you know, the long-term, I guess, like, effects so much. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be like someone who's stupid and just does things without, like, thinking, but there's you have to, like, strike a balance, I think, when it comes to how much thinking you do and how much, like, action you do, and I tend to go on the ladder of, like, thinking things, like, way too in-depthly, and like then nothing ever comes out, you know? And it's very interesting because usually what happens is that I flip-flop between the two. When I don't make anything, I usually like go into these weird things where I overthink it, and then I realize, oh wait, I need to stop doing this, so let's just produce things. And then like you'll see me like create like 4 30-foot tall cutouts in like 2 days or something. And I think that is what I really need to do. We need to entirely be just the second mode of just producing things, because, you know, like I said, making something over nothing is better, you know? When it comes to like my online career and like all the people I've met, majority of the time, the way that like, you know, I made connections or like, you know, I made a viral video is just I did things and didn't think about like how it was really gonna work for the most part. And that's not like to say like you shouldn't think out like your projects and all that, but if you stall for too long and you think about everything that's gonna go wrong, like it's just never gonna get out. So I think I need more of the latter, and you know, I need to stop treating every single project I do like it's, you know, the world champion ship game for like chess, you know. A good analogy for like how I treat like every decision is like, you know, I feel like I'm like Bobby Fischer or something, like analyzing all the possibilities for like what could go wrong to make like the most you know, the best decision possible. But when you do that, you're staring at the board and you're gonna run out of time, and then like they win by default. So like that's the way that I kind of feel. And I really feel that basically we just need to do things, you know. It doesn't matter like if like, you know, in like 2 decades or like in the long term, like it's not the most efficient, because in the long term, not doing anything is going to be the worst option. So Obviously, with everything, you have to like make it like a balance, but I don't know, that's just the way that I feel. And I think in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have quote unquote more cocaine energy, basically. Obviously, I'm not going to be taking any drugs, but I don't know how else to describe it. Just sort of that state where you just kind of make things and, you know, you just kind of do it, you know? So it's what I've done. Or when I do that, like I make the most progress with like all my projects and just, you know, my I guess my social media, and I think it's good. The only problem is that it only lasts for like 1 or 2 months, and then I talk myself out of it, and I start thinking, oh, you got to think about the long-term gain. Oh, I choked. Sorry. And it's like, oh, you got to think about the long-term game and yada yada yada. And then I convince myself that basically what I'm doing in like, you know, a decade from now, it's not going to be like the most beneficial thing for me, you know? And I think that's the problem, which is that there's so much long-term thinking and then it conflicts with like the short term, basically. So everything that I do like today, I'm always like just thinking like, how is it going to, you know, if it's worthwhile, like in the long term, you know? That's the reason why, like, I haven't been making cutouts really because, you know, I've just been doing it for so long. And, like, if I continue making them for, like, 20 years and just, like, posting it on Twitter, I'm not sure, like, where it's going to lead me, you know? In 20 years, I may just be still the guy who, like, makes all the cutouts. And, you know, with me, I'm very ambitious just because... you know, I realize like the situation I'm in, and I really think that there's a lot that I could make out of it, you know, whether it's like starting like a video game studio or, you know, animation or whatever else it is. And the problem though is that, like I said, when I just get into that like long-term thinking, it stops me from like making things in the now. And not making things in the now is not doing anything at all, pretty much. And I try to do like, you know, things in the now that are going to affect the long term. But what ends up happening is that it just becomes so stressful because like I'm so focused on like, you know, the long-term future that I'm like, am I sure this is going to end up like being the right decision like 10 or 20 years from now? And then like, you know, I just get super stressed and then I don't do anything at all. So basically, I'm going to just do things, you know, more spontaneously, you know, and I've had this realization over and over again, and that's why I'm making this video again, because this is probably like the 8th time that I've realized you just gotta do things, man. And I always like talk myself out of it, like this has no future if you just keep on doing this and doing the same things over and over again. And then I come back to it and I'm like, you know what, it is probably better if I just like continue to do it and just remain consistent, because even if it's like not the most efficient, you're at least getting something out. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the blog. This video is going to be demonetized because like we're going to get that, and I'm probably going to get a strike on my channel, I bet. Also a little bit, I don't know what the word is. My mind is stimulated because I've had caffeine, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, he'll be going now.